And Ambassador, I'm curious to get your take on the argument that I've heard in Europe, to some extent, in Washington here as well, from some former officials from the think tank community, that NATO's post Cold War expansion in the late 90s and the early aughts antagonized Russia. No one is saying that it justifies the invasion of Ukraine that we're seeing now, of course, but that it was an unnecessary a step that potentially fueled the fanned the flames of this conflict. What's your take on that?
I'm more of the opinion that there are some rather deep forces in Russian way of thinking, geopolitical thinking, that are at play. I think I don't want to sound too cynical, but a reaction against what happened. I mean, we might have seen it in any case. So I think obviously you can argue that NATO enlargement has contributed to the Russian way of thinking and behavior, but at the same time, one has to say that NATO is not an organization that tries to kind of push anyone in or pull in. I think it's totally voluntary. Nobody is pushing or pulling Finland in. I think these countries that joined NATO in the 90s and early 2000s, I think they basically had a rather fresh memory of the Cold War and being part of the Warsaw Pact. And I think they kind of felt that this kind of a situation when Russia wants to renegotiate the solution or the end of the Cold War, that day might come and they might be better off as a part of the alliance. So to sum it up, I sense that although NATO enlargement may have been a factor, at least in the political debate, I'm afraid there are some deeper forces at play here. And should these countries not be a member of NATO, I don't know if the situation would be any better right now. I think we might even have a more difficult situation. Obviously, we don't know that because we can't kind of rewind history back and then run it again. This is, of course, all speculation right now.